Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell. Ruff, ruff. Billy and I are sitting over here. Well, I mentioned Billy, so, there he comes. Here comes trouble. Sitting over here at Costco, over off Airport Road in Ontario, California. This is our last load before we head home. We got Hometime coming for a couple weeks. So we need to get a load and go home. But, dun dun dun, high ass winds for the rest of the day today. Not in Ontario, which sucks, so I'm going to sit here in nice weather. Maybe I'll pick up a load and just sit at the truck stop. But high-ass winds up to 100-mile-an-hour gusts all through Coachella and the 10 corridor there up into Arizona and whatnot. So I'm gonna have to err on the side of caution because it is westerly winds, which means they'd be pushing you. But as we know, coming down here, I had westerly winds, and the freeway doesn't run true west. It starts going southwest, northwest, so on and so forth. And I'll tell you what, every time I got anything but west, even running west, it was pretty dicey, and they weren't even that hard of winds. But I was light. I'm only 20,000 pounds. So unless I get a 50,000 pound load, I don't think I'll be trying to run those winds. I don't think I'd run 100-mile-an-hour gusts anyways. Yesterday they were talking 80-mile-an-hour gusts. Now they're up to 100-mile-an-hour gusts. So it looks like I'm going to sit here all day, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That kind of sucks. I want to get home, start my home time, but it is what it is, right? Sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you feel like me, a nut. But we're at inside a building here for Costco. I've never been to this place. I was so surprised when I started heading over here. I'm like, I don't remember Costco being this close to... oh, I got a red light. They're going to start unloading me. I don't remember Costco being so close. And, yeah. I've never been here before. This must be their dry division. I don't know. Because I've only been to Costco's with Prime delivering refrigerated goods. But I'll tell you, they don't give you much room in front of the truck to back in. They're putting trucks every other truck, so hopefully no one pulls in next to me, because then it'll make it hard for me to get out. Another good reason why coming an hour early pays, because they actually weren't letting anybody in till about 4:50. So I was one of the first trucks to get in here, which means fighting less with parking. Because I'll tell you, I've watched a couple of guys really struggle getting into the spot because, they ain't got the pull-up area to straighten themselves out. Tired, man. I'm tired. Didn't get much sleep yesterday. Slept when I got to I was in Coachella, where I shut down because I pretty much ran out of hours on my 70. I had an hour and 42 minutes left. And so my plan was, let's shut down in Coachella. We'll get up at 2:30, 3 in the morning, and drive into Costco. Well, I go to bed at like 10 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 2, and happen to look at my phone, and there's warnings on there for the area. So I look, and Coachella is going to get 80-mile-an-hour gusts starting 10 o'clock last night. I'm like, son of a bitch. So what I elected to do, when I see it was going to last as long as it was, I elected to start driving at 8:30 last night, because it was an hour and 45 minutes to get to Ontario. And I figured if I started driving at 8:30, if I didn't get there within my clock would come back at 10 o'clock local here in California, which would be 12 o'clock central where I'm from. And I'd get my some time back on my 70. So I went ahead and did that, which probably about 30 miles from Ontario, the wind stopped, because the wind started picking up at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I got to Ontario, needless to say, there was no parking there, so I had to make my own parking, which was not great because it was on the end of it was on the end of an aisle, and I hate parking on the end of an aisle because I'm always afraid someone's gonna turn and take your hood off. They had a little security guard running around there, which I thought, oh man, they're gonna kick me out because they started coming towards me when they seen me start parking. But they never said anything, which was good because I was like, well, wait a minute, that guy's illegally parked, that guy's legal. All these trucks are all super truck parked, so if they were going to say something about me, they'd have to say something about everybody, in my opinion. But they left me alone, so I went ahead and got a couple hours more sleep. And got up at 4. Alright, moseyed on over here. But yeah, I'll be going back to the truck stop here once I get picked up and going back to bed. Right, Billy? Right, Trouble? Should have named you Trouble. Should have named you Trouble because all you doing is trying to get into trouble. All he does is try to get into trouble and attack. What's this guy yelling at? But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. We got a Facebook page, Trucking with David H. And we'll see you later.